William Lawrence, who is a professor of political science and international affairs at the American University. A warm welcome to you. So just how tense is the situation there right now?
It's extremely tense. This has been going on since early May, but was very undercovered in the international press and in the Indian press for many reasons, including that there was an internet blackout at times. The Indian press was kept away, that Modi didn't even come out and speak about it until July. And of course, you have these simmering conflicts at times around India that can somehow get normalized, but we've had these spikes. The last spike was in July when two women were paraded nakedly in a video that Modi ended up responding to. That was his first public response. And then this latest incident. But we've had 180 people killed. We've had hundreds injured. We've had, of course, the 50,000, 60,000 that were displaced and no end in sight, really no efforts to bring the two communities together. And of course, this crisis has historical roots going back to the 70s and 80s.
Well, you just said no end in sight. How do you see this all resolving?
Well, there's a number of different aspects to it that need addressing. One is that the local police have actively been involved in the ethnic fighting and were actually distributing weapons at one point. That's an issue. The central government really hasn't done what they needed to do to sort of take control and tamp things down. So now we have self-defense forces on each side, which is never very good. And those will eventually have to be de-armed in order to get back to peace. But I think it starts with some sort of intercommunal negotiation, mediation, which no one's really started yet.
OK, you mentioned a bit about the history there. In brief, what is at the real root of all of this violence?
Well, there's a history of insurgencies and counterinsurgencies. There's an older history of a kingdom that this was in this area and then attached to India. If you look at the map, it's this sort of weird appendage that sticks out to the east of India around Bangladesh and over towards Myanmar. It's landlocked. It's been affected itself by the Myanmar conflict and the Bangladesh conflict, refugees of which come into this area, and then that sort of aggravates things. And of course, these ethnic conflicts, which also have a political dimension, with the state run by the BJP, which brings in the religious dimension, and there are political and geopolitical and economic dimensions. Part of this is that poppy fields were being raided by the central government, except that the poppy trade, the drug trade, is as much controlled by rich people in one area and farmers in the other. So that crosses over. So it's really quite a confluence of forces that lead these people to mistrust each other and need to defend each other from the others. And there'll need to be some mediation to come in and set things straight. But this region has never really been fully reconciled, the different communities, to each other in the last 100 years.
All right, a real mess then. William, thank you so very much indeed. A pleasure to have you on, Professor of Political Science and International Affairs at the American University.
A pleasure.